And we're back.
Hey.
Beaners, Anderson, and Derek. What's up, buddy? Did you watch AIDS?
Yeah, I watched AIDS. That's what it should have been called.
AIDS.
Philadelphia has nothing to do with the movie.
AIDS-adelphia.
AIDS-adelphia. There's literally, it could have taken place in Chicago. Could have taken place in Wyoming.
They just wanted to throw that brotherly love line in there.
Yeah, right? Well,
they really wanted to throw that whole movie was based on that line.
Why was it called Philadelphia? I guess because you have to give it, like, if you want to win Oscars, you got to give it some kind of artsy name. You really
and
can't.
Like, we can't call it Chicago.
Yeah. Well, you can't be like, this guy has AIDS. You can't, you know what I mean?
In the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah, you could have done that. It could have been called Baltimore.
Could have been called any city, dude. It was a movie about AIDS, clearly.
Yeah. Never not about AIDS. Never once about Philly, except for that line.
Yeah, that was it. One line and a Dr. J reference.
It was a Dr. J reference. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think came first? The name of the movie or Dr. J?
You should look up a producer. It's Julius Irving.
Yeah. Produced by Julian Irving.
What'd you think of the movie, buddy?
With Allen Iverson. I liked it. It's very sad. Made me cry.
Yes, very sad.
Made me cry. You know what made me? You know what really got me? The home videos at the end when you're just watching videos of him at the funeral, and they're just like of him.
Yeah.
And like as a kid, and you're like, oh God, this is rough.
Bro, this is rough.
Yeah.
Just had it on a loop.
Yeah. Right. Ooh, man.
Dude, that was intense, man.
Yeah, it was the whole movie. It was like intense. It's my favorite character was the bad lawyer or the mean lawyer, the corporate lawyer.
The woman?
Yeah,
she was amazing.
She killed
the mom, stepbrother mom.
Stepbrother mom. Yeah, she murdered it.
So good.
Yeah.
Fact. Oh man.
Andrew Beckett is going to die. Jesus Christ! Just to say that and look at him directly in his eyes.
I love when that scene. Then Tom turns around and he gives that thumbs up to his family, and his family's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great, dude. Such a good moment. To me, that scene that got me was the dad. I mean, the brother crying at the end, but the dad giving that just like, hey, I've seen you guys fight through. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
amazing.
He had good parents,
great parents,
which I think was
brothers and sisters too.
Yeah, which I think. Especially in the movie in the 90s, you would think like the stereotype would be to show him overcoming
the family,
but the family was on his side. Yeah, the family was on his side the whole time.
The family loved his boyfriend. The family, everything. Yeah,
the family was just with it.
Yeah,
they're like, we get it. We love you. We don't give a fuck.
You're also a badass lawyer who makes more, but clearly is richer. Like I like that they didn't get into that, but this dude would have been so fucking rich compared to the family. So it was yeah. They didn't give a fuck.
Oh man, and then he just wastes. So God, AIDS was no joke. Whew.
Good point.
Yeah, it was like, like for real? Like, because everyone makes jokes about it now, but my God.
Yeah, bro. Just withered you away to death.
Yeah, a wasting disease.
Fast.
Yeah.
He withered away so fast.
Yeah.
Did you notice what I mentioned when I said the weight loss was a character in itself? Just how skinny he was getting.
Yeah, how gaunt he was looking.
Yes. Tom Hanks, man, that was unreal. How good.
He was a great. I was telling you the scene where he's like trying to prepare for his Tom is trying to prepare for his testimony, and he plays the classical music and he's dancing and he's sort of like just dealing with his own mortality with Denzel.
Oh, and Denzel's trying to get work done, and he's just kind of like talking about his own mortality.
Yeah, that was probably the first time I've ever watched a film with Denzel where I've been like, oh, he's not the best actor in this scene.
Interesting. So you thought in other scenes he was the best actor the rest of the movie?
Or it's like okay, or there's a great cast and everyone's on par with each other, because like Denzel kind of elevates everyone to him. I believe that.
I lay the other side.
Really?
Of Tom elevates everyone.
Well, I think that's the one thing. It's like, oh man, like you can make an argument that Tom Hanks is the better actor.
Well, he has more range.
If
I'm arguing, I don't think it is an argument, but if we were going to argue it, yeah, Tom Hanks. I mean, because we could go down a list of movies.
That's a good point.
It's just Denzel is the best at what he does. Tom Hanks, if he was going to do a movie like Training Day, he would be second best at it.
Yeah.
But then again, you see what I'm saying?
But yeah, it was just like, oh my God, it's like I'm just not used to, because Denzel usually carries movies.
He's also usually not in a duo.
Yeah, but this one I was like, oh my God, Tom is unbelievable in this one. I can see why he won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. When he's dying and he's like crying, it's the first time you really see him dealing with the fact that he's gonna die.
Yeah, besides, man, when it comes to range, nigga, it's like Daniel Day-Lewis, Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a couple niggas that have like that level of like, what? The spectrum's crazy.
Yeah, that's the level of actor he belongs with, for sure.
Tom Hanks is a bad motherfucker, man.
For sure. Oh, man.
Well, he's Woody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's fucking Woody, dude.
Dude, he was it went for him. He was Andrew Beckett.
Yeah.
Then Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Then Woody. Just like that.
And then it was like, that's just 3. I like that. It's like, isn't that crazy? That's
but in three in like 4 years, or some shit?
Like before that was Big. Right after that, Saving Private Ryan.
And League of Their Own is in there somewhere.
You can keep going either way. Yeah. That's how. Whoa.
Yeah, Starsky and Hutch. He wasn't in that. What am I saying? No.
Owen Wilson and fucking.
No, God, no. What's the one where he's like a detective with a dog? That's why I thought.
Nigga.
That's why.
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
You know what? Now that you meant Turner and Hooch, I get what you're saying.
I was actually in the ballpark.
I thought you were talking the Lady Killers.
No. I didn't think of the Lady Killers.
That's why I was like,
but I was thinking about Turner and Hooch.
I was also like, wow, you saw the Lady Killers?
I've seen neither the Lady Killers or Turner and Hooch.
Great,
but
good for the Beaners. That's a good one for the Beaners.
Oh man, it's just
Anything I missed? Anything I missed that I didn't get?
Anything you missed? Nothing really stuck out to me as something. You missed Denzel's mustache. You definitely missed that.
I guess I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring that up.
I watched it and I was like, oh, he has a mustache for this movie.
Dick too.
Yeah, it's no joke. That mustache is no joke. Yeah. So that was actually a pretty big miss. Like when I really think about it, it's like, oh wow, because it definitely caught me off guard. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's mustached in a lot of movies in that era of time, which is so funny. You know, because Denzel goes through this 80s to 90s era of he has a thick mustache.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm thinking He Got Game. There's a lot of great 90s movies. You haven't seen that either, have you?
You could have fucking mentioned it. Yeah, fucking this guy over here. Yeah. Oh, this is what you missed. I thought the reason why I think Denzel helps Tom in the library is right before, like when they're like, would you be, right before like the other librarian goes like, hey, would you want your own private room?
Yeah.
There's another employee at the library that comes and like looks Denzel up and down, like mistrusting.
Oh, I remember that because he was sneaking food.
Yeah, sneaking food, and the sort of I got the feeling of like, what's this black guy doing here? Like there was hate. You know what's so funny? That's what
I didn't mention that because I remember it specifically because I didn't feel that. Denzel, if you watch Denzel, it says no food in the thing, right? And then he's like, and then the guy walks by and he's like, and then the guy keeps going, he goes, oh. That's why I was like, oh, he was in the wrong on that, technically. That's why I didn't see that.
In my mind, I was like, oh, so he already feels a little bit of scrutiny, so he like now connects with.
That's so funny because he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
You see scrutiny, but it's like, even if it was, he was in the wrong.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's like
but I thought that was very important to be like. But why is he already in this mindset?
But that's something you saw. It's not because it was like that's not important to the plot. It's like you saw that as something that happened. But that might be just a race thing because as a black man maybe and as a brown person you were like, oh, that was, and I was like, no, that nigga fucked up.
I definitely saw it as a race thing, and I will choose to believe it was a race thing. And Derek's wrong.
Thought we were having a discussion, but all right.
No, we're not. Yeah, no, we're not. That's what it is. You know what I like too? I like the lingering shots.
Yes, in that bird's eye view shot in that scene specifically.
Oh well, that's like a crazy shot. That was a good idea. Whoever's idea that was.
To just go, elevate like that.
But just like in general, there was a lot of lingering shots that made you sort of feel the uncomfortableness of everything.
Breakfast Club style. Very 90s.
Yeah. Well, it was very 90s. We talked about that. There was like 90s angles. It just
angles. It was like, and the lingering of let's hold on this expression.
Yes.
I like that.
Like when he's leaving Denzel's office for the first time and Denzel says he doesn't want to take it because of personal reasons. It's just, you see him like break down a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. You know what I could put it? Lingering shots. Literally shot exactly the opposite of another Denzel movie, which would be Man on Fire.
Yes. Oh, wow. It's the exact opposite.
Opposite of editing, the exact opposite of directing. Even though both great movies, you know what I mean? But
and in terms of color, too.
In terms of, like, it's interesting, like, that you can make a serious movie in a way and just shoot. Just like, all right, instead of, hey, we're going to linger, or like, no, we're going to fucking cut every fucking couple seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that, it's just so cool that you can do so many different things and make a good movie. But as we've tended to learn on Spoil the Beans, no one does that. Except maybe like 4 movies, and this is one of the 4.
Well, you know what? Doing this made me realize, like, oh, every little angle is so important. You got to be thinking on that level. You got to be thinking on an angle level
to make a Philadelphia.
To make a movie like this.
Yeah.
Even to make a movie like Man on Fire, it's like
absolutely
very well thought out.
Yeah, but to make a movie like this is a masterpiece. I think this is like, this is a $1 million baby level of just script.
One thing I wish, I guess, that I get, but it makes more sense because it's realistic how the court trial played out. But you know how most court trials there's like a aha gotcha moment.
Yes, there's always one.
I guess that was him like unbuttoning his shirt, but that didn't quite feel like that. I don't know. I just felt like the end of the trial was a little jumbled, and I felt the beginning of the trial was stronger than the end of the trial.
Interesting. You know what I liked about that it ended like that? Because in the beginning of the trial, he says, "There's not going to be. This isn't. Forget everything you've seen on movies and television. There's going to be no last minute witnesses. There's going to be no bullshit. We're going to hit you with fact." And then the court and it ended like probably like how real trials end.
That's what I think. I was like, this is probably how real trials end.
So that's why I thought jumbled, but more like, like, oh, they kind of went like, oh, we're not gonna go fans. We're not gonna go big cool court case. We're gonna go. This is what a court case looks like.
Which I respect, but who doesn't enjoy a big cool court case?
Oh, I mean, dude, that's what makes My Cousin Vinny amazing.
Oh,
is that
God.
There's a big fucking ending.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. But I just remember that line in the beginning is like, oh, okay, like, oh, that was cool that they told us that. A little foreshadowing, pretty much, was that they were telling us like, hey, don't expect a cool ending.
Yeah, well, and they were right. On the streets of Philadelphia, AIDS-adelphia.
And we're back. Thank you again for coming back. And Asan, thank you for coming back as well. I never thank you. Thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I never thought I could just not come back.
You don't have to. I don't know why you keep doing it, but you keep doing it.
I got nowhere else to go.
Asan Ahmad.
Yeah.
Jassim, tell me what happens in the motion picture, moviette, featurette, film, Drumline.
Oh, wow. I completely did not. What?
I know. I also didn't plan on doing this movie today, but the movie I wanted to do wasn't available.
Man. Drumline. Good. You know?
One question.
Yes.
I have one question, but I've never interrupted you before you tell me what happens in the movie, but I have a question.
Yes.
You were in the band in high school.
Yes, I was in the Drumline.
You were in the Drumline in high school.
Yes.
How did you not see this movie?
That's how I felt.
I'm sure it came up in conversation. I'm sure
other
people knew.
We didn't talk about it a lot.
I'm saying, but I knew you had to know it existed. Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. It was like a thing.
It was a big thing.
It was a big thing.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like cool, right?
How did you? It just.
I just never gave a fuck.
Interesting. And no one in your band.
No one was like, you gotta. Oh no, we never really talked about Drumline. Like
interesting.
No, yeah, we just hung out. Drumline was great, by the way. That's a great time. If you're in high school, join the Drumline. That's a fun little time.
But just because it is interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because this movie was like a weird little phenomenon.
Yes. It was big. It was
so
definitely
that's why you see the questioning and like it's interesting that this missed you considering you did the thing.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I know, right? You would think I would seek it out. No, I had no.
I didn't seek it out. You would think it would just have come up. You think someone in that life would have been like, "Isn't this
have you never
seen
made
a movie about a thing that we do specifically?
Yeah.
Like extremely specifically the Drumline, dude. It's not like this is about like some other
like a band. No, it's about the Drumline.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, okay, but fuck all that. Sanamad, what happens in the movie Drumline?
Nick Cannon. This is our first Nick Cannon movie. I know Nick Cannon's in this movie.
I think that's the only thing we all know.
I almost said Nick Cage, and I would think I would rather see this movie with Nick Cage.
I think it's an Oscar winning.
You know, he is a college guy, and he doesn't have a place in college, and maybe he's a bit of a delinquent.
Ooh, he's a bad boy.
Yeah, and he's got to figure out what to do. And then he goes to a party, and he meets a girl who's like in the band, and then he'll be like,
what does the girl play? Just curious. I like your story. What does this girl play?
What does the girl play? Some kind of maybe woodwind, some kind of flute or clarinet.
All right. something like a penis.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. That's what I remember in high school. The color guard girls were the hottest, and then the flute girls were very cute. let's see. So I say flute.
Oh yeah, you met a flute. She met a flute girl.
Yeah, he met a flute girl. He's like,
that's
I'll
where we
do it. And he finds his spot on the drum line. He tries to, and then, then it's just him and he's...
Wait. He gets on the drum line?
Yes, he tries to join whatever and then he ends up on the drum line.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
In the conflict?
he's got a...
You haven't said conflict yet. I can tell you just realized that you just...
Fuck, I haven't.
What's the...
Well, he's on the edge of getting expelled, so he's got to get past all this bullshit and be part of the team, learn how to be a team player.
And then how's it resolved?
With a big drum off where they win, and then he shows everyone he's part of the team. He probably at the big drum off, he's about to not go to it, but in the last second he goes to it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, isn't
Dude,
it?
what a good guy.
Yeah, but an almost bad one.
Oh yeah. And that's Drumline.
And that's Drumline.
All right. I'll do my version.
No.
You tell me what you think of this version.
No. Man. It's probably like a dude with a baton who's like really flamboyant and shit. If I had to guess.
You mean gay?
Not maybe gay, but like just over the top. Less so than gay, than more over the top.
Just an over the top human being.
Yes. But he could be gay. I'm not judging.
While he's not being an over top in the human being, he could be getting pounded in the butt and or vagina.
Yeah. Well, he's not getting pounded in the vagina. Or I guess it's 2018.
You don't know shit, bro.
It's 2018.
Come on now. Get with it.
My
this
bad.
Guy.
My
All
bad.
right.
My bad, guys. I'm sorry.
We start with
horns.
Yeah. Drum roll. Drumline.
Yeah.
Across the movie screen.
Yeah.
We're at a graduation now.
Ooh.
All right. Camera pans on our star, Nicholas Cannon.
Sir Nicholas Cannon.
Sir Nicholas Cannon. His row stands up, right? And then they call his name, Devin Miles. And he walks across the stage and he gets his diploma for high school and he pumps his fist. His mom's cheering. Yeah. The principal says, and now our nationally high school ranked championship band will perform one last piece. And for our seniors, it's a final farewell, blah, blah, blah. So they start playing. And then while the principal's talking, they show Nick Cannon and he's mocking him to let us know he's a little bit of a bad boy.
Oh, is he? Huh.
Okay.
Who saw that coming?
So they start playing I Believe I Can Fly. Right?
Okay.
Like they stay playing like really slow and and musically well done.
Right.
And they show Nick Cannon and he's like, oh. And then he waits a second and then he's like he starts kicking it up a little bit, right? I Believe I Can. I'm like the chorus. And then the band director looks at him and is like, and then he's like, goes back to it.
Okay, so he's already on the drums.
Yeah, he's already on the drums. And then he looks at everybody, he's like, and then everybody's like, and then they just go, I believe I can do, and the whole band's going nuts.
Yeah.
And then
might as well.
Yeah, and then the director's like,
yeah.
The whole crowd goes crazy.
Right.
Okay? So he's taking a picture with his mom right after that, and then his mom, like everybody's like saying, bye, see you, Devin. Good to see you, bro. I'll see you later. And then he's saying he gives his mom some flowers, and he tells her how he wouldn't have made it without her, right? And then he asked her, he's like, are you gonna be good? Me going off to college? Are you by yourself? And she's like, boy, with you going, I'm gonna party. And he's like, all right, whatever. He laughs and he's like, hey, I'm gonna run off real quick. I'll be back in a second. And she's like, where you going? We got people coming over. And he's like, Mom, I'll be back real quick. I just gotta go somewhere real fast. So he goes off. He goes to a subway station. A black man is working in the thing taking the tokens, right?
Okay.
And it cuts to him and he's like in his hands and he's like taking tokens, and then he gets handed like a pass for a graduation.
Yeah.
A ticket.
Yeah.
And and he's like, what the hell is this? And he looks up and then it's Nick Cannon and he's all serious. He's like, I'm Devin. And he's like, what? And he's like, I'm Devin. And he's looking at him. He kind of gets more serious. He's like, I've been coming down here every day for the last 2 weeks, deciding whether I'm going to give you this or not. It's a ticket to my graduation. I changed my mind, And he's looking at him. He's like, oh. And he's like, I just want you to know that I got my diploma. I've never been arrested. I ain't got no kids. And unlike you, I'm doing something with my music. And then the dad looks at him. And he's like, I got a full ride to AT&T to play the drums. And I want to say I made you proud, because I made it without you. And then he turns around, the dad's like, and he's like crying like a motherfucker, and he walks away.
How cheesy is that?
Right?
How just unbelievably cheesy is that?
How did this conversation happen?
What?
Because I made it without you. And he turns and he's like bawling.
Yeah, so the dad doesn't recognize him at first, right?
Dad doesn't recognize him.
Yeah, that's not how that conversation goes.
Goes, not at all.
No,
Dude, the dad's like, yo, bro, I don't know what the fuck
you were talking about. Yeah.
You're the big wait, what? Who are you, bro? So camera fades.
Oh God, I know that'll be the tone of this movie already.
Bro, you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
We were loving it this morning. So
is this a movie that takes itself very seriously?
The whole movie, Sam was like, I forgot how intense this movie was supposed to be. It's supposed to be, bro, intense as fuck. It's supposed to be so intense. So next thing he's on a bus in Atlanta, right? And he's with a bunch of other students that are in the band, right? And then it's quiet and everybody's looking out the window. And then a guy gets up and he goes, I'm Charles. And it's the lineman from Remember the Titans who sang all the time. Him. It's him.
Okay.
So he goes, I'm Charles. And I play the tuba. And no one acknowledges him on the bus, right? Everybody just keeps looking out the window.
He looks like he'd play a tuba.
Yeah.
That's a tuba.
Right?
That's a tuba ass looking motherfucker.
Sure, he's a tuba motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Devin looks at him and goes, what up, bro? I'm Devin. Like he breaks. And he's like, and I'm nice on the snare. And he's like, oh, thank you, bro. You we're just going to leave me hanging like that. And then a white dude behind him goes, I'm Jason. It's all about the bass, baby. And they're like, oh, what up, Jason? What up, bro? And then another dude goes, I'm Ernie. And it's the brother from the show Smart Guy. You ever watch the show Smart Guy?
So too long ago.
When you see him, you're going to recognize some other stuff too. But that's what I really remember him for. But when you see him, you're like, oh, that fucking guy.
I remember Smart Guy vaguely.
You recognize, he's been in a million other things, but that's what oh, that's what I knew him from. You know what I mean? But he's been in a bunch of other fucking movies.
Okay.
And so and the guy goes, I play snare, I play bass, any drum, really. I'm just trying to make the line, right? And he gets all nervous. And then they drive by this other college, and this other college is like jamming the fuck out. Like it's called, and then Devin's like, who is that? And then they're like, oh, that's Morris Brown. The bus driver, he's like, that's Morris Brown. He talks about how that's the, and then somebody else goes, like one of the drum like leaders in the group goes, oh, that's Morris Brown. And then the bus driver goes, you better say it right. That's the unstoppable, undeniable 5-year in a row champ of the BET Classic, Morris Brown. And then everybody's like, oh, boo, boo, right? And then he talks about how the last 4 years in a row at the BET Classic, like they've been kicking their ass. And ever since they got the new director, ever since AT&T got this new band director who's like where they're going, like Dr. Lee.
Right.
He's like, they've been playing like whack ass music and they've been getting their ass spanked, right?
Okay.
So
sorry, it's just these are bands.
Yeah, they're bands.
Yeah.
These are bands.
How is this not? How do you not go? This should be a comedy. Think of what you could do if this is a comedy.
If this is a comedy, it's amazing.
Yeah, because then you could play bands like they're this college football thing. I mean, I'm sure it's intense in the world, but no one gives a shit.
No, other than the world of black college bands, which is this world.
Yeah,
so they do care. This is like a big deal in this world.
Okay.
But in the regular world of bands, this isn't a big deal.
No.
But
in the regular world, I mean.
No, but you've never been to a black college. So you have no idea.
No.
Exactly.
I never will.
Good for you, buddy. So, everyone is moving on to campus, right? It's a shot of like, regular shot of just all the kids moving on to campus.
Right.
And then they're all the dudes that got out the bus, they're checking out all the hot girls. And then one of them, Devin's like, damn, look at that freshman over there. And they cut to the girl, and it's Zoe Saldana.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow, that took
Young
me a second
and
to
hot.
be like, oh, shit.
Young, hot Zoe, too.
Yeah, like pre-superstar.
Oh, yeah. This is her when she was doing,
Yeah, when she was just figuring it all out.
So
you did it, girl. You did it.
Devin's like, he's like running over to you. He's like, oh, I'm going to go say something to her, blah, blah, blah. And then the lame dude that plays the tuba is like, oh, you need some backup? Right? And then he's like, no. And then he goes up to her. He's like, hey, what's up, ma? He's just, yo, Nick Cannon's the most corny nigga in the universe in this movie, bro. It's so funny. What's up, ma? And then Zoe Saldana, good actress still at the time. Yeah. She's like, what's up, pa? Like with an immediate attitude, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm Devin, but you can call me D. Laughing like that and everything, dude. And then she's like, hi, ain't you gonna, and he's like, well, ain't you gonna tell me your name? And she's like, I'm Layla. He's like, Layla? That's kind of hot. He says that.
Man, this is what it takes to get Mariah Carey.
Yo, he did fuck Mariah Carey.
But he married her.
So she goes, "Are you a freshman?" And he goes, "For now." And then they keep flirting, right? And then right then the tuba guy walks up all lame. He's like, "Hey, what up, ladies?" And he says some lame shit. And then all the girls just walk away. It's a very good shot. And then the Devin dude looks at him. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "What? Bro, I thought you said you needed backup. I thought that was a signal." And so the next shot is the two leaders of the two, what are they called? Fucking not leaders of the band, motherfucking drum majors, not drum majors.
Drum majors, yeah.
Drum majors, yeah. The niggas that do all the shit, right?
Yeah.
Them two niggas, they're calling everyone up and they saying how you will refer to them as their nicknames, blah, blah, and it's like very militant, like the way they're yelling at them, like blah, 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 like yelling at them like they're like drill sergeants and shit.
Right.
And they're saying like, he's like, "I'm Buck Wild." He was like, "We are your drum majors. You are, at all times, you will all wear white shirts to remind you that you are crabs. And you are nothing but crabs. And you will not earn the colors of our band until you like earn the ranks of making the band or some shit, right?
Right.
So they all have to wear white. And he tells them how they all have to be in bed by 6. They all have to study their rule book completely and thoroughly and know it by heart. And they all have to like be in bed by 6 so they can be up by a certain time. And then right then Devin's like, they show him and he's like, "Man, fuck that." And he looks over at the friends. He's like, "Man, y'all want to go to this party I heard about?" And they're all like, "Yeah." Because of course. So next shot, they're at a party, just turning up.
Right.
Turning their ass up crazy at a party, right? Next morning, a guy comes in, like it shows a dude in the hallway with them motherfucking, whatever, isn't it?
Cymbals?
The bass drum, ain't it?
Oh, the bass drum. Yeah. That's what I played.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a nigga in the hallway like this, right? And they show it's like 4:20 or 4:30 in the morning or whatever. And then, so boom, 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 boom. They go down the hallway waking everybody up. You know what I mean?
This is during band camp, right?
Yeah. So like straight up military style kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so
sounds fun, I guess.
they wake up, Devin looks at the clock and he's like 4:38. He's like, "Man, hell no." And then he throws on his clothes real quick and he just throws on like a black shirt and shit and black pants. He doesn't give a fuck. And then he looks at his roommate sleeping, the dude from the Ernie guy, and he looks at him, he's like, "Pff," and then he just keeps going, right? So they cut down and then it's the band, it's the guy. He's an actor. You'll recognize him like a motherfucker, but I don't know his name. But you'll recognize him like a motherfucker.
Oh, I know. I've seen clips of him as the band. As the
that
band
nigga,
director.
okay?
Yeah,
and he's exactly what he said. Just
I know
pompous
exactly
and
who he is.
extra as fuck, bro. So he's down there and they're playing when the Saints go marching in, and he's like loving it, right? At like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So everybody's lining up, and as they're playing it, and then right then he goes, "Good morning," and good morning to music. It's his first lines of the movie. Okay. And he goes, "Welcome to the band training." And he looks out and everyone's wearing white, but Devin. He's just wearing like all black.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes, "Welcome to band training, blah, blah, blah." And he says,
So Devin sticks out.
oh my God, it looks crazy.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. And he gives a great speech on music and how they play great music from old school legends, and that's the kind of music they play. And blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, "And if you wish to remain here, you must be on time." And he looks over and like all the people who are running up late kind of show up. And then he looks at the first guy who is Ernie. He goes, "You, why are you late?" No, he goes, "You, who is your roommate?" Right? And then the guy goes, "Devin." And he looks at Devin and Devin's like, big smile, like, "What's up?" And then he starts walking towards him and he's like, "What's up, Dr. Lee?" He goes, "How's it going, Mr. Miles? Glad I can have you. Why is your roommate late?" And then he's like, he overslept. And he goes, "And why didn't you wake him?" "I'm not his mother, sir." "Everyone, I asked Mr. Miles while his roommate was late. He said he overslept. Then I asked him, why didn't you wake him? To which he replied, I am not his mother. Band leaders, what's our motto? Everybody, one band, one sound. One band, one sound." And then he goes off on everybody, like on Devin, right? About like what music means, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, "And everybody now is gonna run 10 laps to show that they are not their roommates' mothers. Let's get to work." And everybody starts running, right?
Yeah.
And he just starts going off at everybody as they're running, right? And he's like, he's like, "Band, keep playing when the Saints go marching in and let that flow through your veins as you're running your laps. Come on now," right? And he's just that kind of guy already.
Right.
So
I like this.
Oh, he's good. No, he's good. The guy's good. He's kind of funny and like ridiculous, but like believable. You know?
Right.
So cut to like everybody is finishing their laps, right? And now it's like now the sun is out. Like it's not that early anymore. Now the sun's completely out.
Right.
And you hear a guy going, "Trumpets! We are the voice of this band. We are this. We are that." And then the camera keeps panning back, right? And it's a guy going, "Tubas are the heart and soul of this band, baby." And then it's a guy going, "Man, the saxophones with a sex appeal. We are this. We are that at the band." And then it keeps panning back, bro. And it's the drum guy, right? And he's got the drum line around him. And he's bald. And this nigga's like. He's so serious, bro. He's so over. No one in the world is this serious. And he gets everybody clapping, right? And he goes, drums. We are. He goes, percussions. The band does not move or come alive without percussions. And everybody keeps clapping, you know what I mean? And he goes, we are the pulse. And everybody keeps clapping. And then he puts his fingers up to a guy's neck, right? Like that's and everybody like keeps clapping. And he's like,
that's intrusive.
Like this, he's like
that's
making everybody like clap like harder.
That's very intrusive. I don't like that. Much. I don't like that.
And he goes, and without a pulse, he cuts everybody. You're dead, bro. I never laughed so hard. So when you see, you can be like, "Yo, that's
why?
Bro,
why?
Come on.
Why? Yeah, see, that's a very funny character. This should totally be a comedy.
Yeah, it should have been a comedy.
Yeah, of course. Nick Cannon's your lead. What are you doing?
Definitely that. So right then they go, they call everybody for a break, right? They go, all right, 10-minute break. Like you hear somebody else say it behind them. And then everybody leaves. And then the drum guy, the bald head guy, he goes, hey, where are you going? And then Nick Cannon goes, they call break. And he goes, we don't break with the brand in practice. We don't break with the brand in performance.
The brand?
Yeah, whatever.
We don't break with the brand.
And he goes, 30 push-ups, everybody. He goes, 32 from you to Nick Cannon, right? And everybody starts doing the push-ups. And then this Ernie guy notices there's a girl in the line, right? And then she's doing the push-ups. And then everybody kind of starts making fun of her. Like, oh, we got a girl in the line, blah, 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 right? Oh, I hope you can keep up, baby. You know, they're saying all that shit. And then she looks at everybody and then raises one arm and then does one-hand push-ups. Looking at it, like, eyeing down all of them.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, very badass. And everybody's like, damn! Yeah. She's kind of hot, too. It is very hot. When she's always doing the one-hand push-ups, I'm like, oh, that's kind of hot.
Okay. That felt hot. I'm not gonna lie.
That's so stupid. I'm just a guy telling you, and you're like, that felt hot. Like, whoa. Oh, good. All right. So the next scene, the drum major guy, the bald guy, he's telling everybody, he's downstairs. He got him in the equipment room, and he's telling them to pick out a drum. Right, and he tells them to pick out a drum from the left side only. They get the raggedy, shitty drums because they haven't earned the right to pick out the real drums on the right side, right?
Right.
And so right then, everybody goes to the left side to get their drums. Of course,
Nick Cannon goes to the
right
right
to the nicest drum on the right side.
Yeah.
Right. And just starts putting it on. And he goes, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And Nick Cannon's like, "Getting my drum." And he's like, "Hey, your shitty ass drums are over there. Take that shit off." And he goes, "Man, I'll take it off when you calm down." And he looks at him. He's like, "Everybody clear out." Everybody leaves. And he walks up to him. He's like, "Boy, don't you ever disrespect me in front of them, in front of my band." And he's like, Nick Cannon goes, "You gotta give respect to get it."
You know, that is the deepest I imagine Nick Cannon ever being. So
good for him.
Good, yeah, good for you, Nick.
You tried, bud.
Yeah.
So right then, Devin starts going off on how like Dr. Lee.
Who is this guy? What kind of guy acts like this?
I don't know.
How is he not off the band? Like I would be immediately
like when he went to the right side. When I said get a drum from this side, he went to that side.
Wearing
like,
black.
Yep, you're done.
Yeah, you can't let this guy get away with that much.
No. The wearing black on the first day he'd have been punished strictly. The moment I told the band leader like, "Hey, bro, we went down. I said get a drum from the left. He grabbed a drum from the right.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm not fucking with this idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he argued with me in front of everybody. I'm not fucking playing with this dude.
Yeah.
So,
but they let him stay on.
So Devin, he's bragging about stuff how Dr. Lee like came and brought him on a full ride scholarship and came to his house begging for him to come, blah blah blah. So you need to treat him with respect. And then the Sean guy, the ball guy, which makes sense, goes, "I don't give a fuck if Dr. Lee fucked your mama. This is my drum line. You want to get on it? You go through me. Now take off my drum and go grab your raggedy ass shit over there." And then Devin's like, I can't believe you're talking to me. Like, yeah, his character doesn't make any sense. So the next shot, they're running stadiums.
I don't know why I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're getting yelled at like crazy, and they're doing like stadiums with their instruments over their heads.
Yeah.
Which is like, I always thought this even the first time I saw the movie because I was watching. I was like, well, that's bullshit if you're the flutes. or the fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers had tubas. Motherfuckers with a clarinet over their head. I'm mad. I'm like, hey, what are we even doing this
Yeah,
for?
I get to wear the tuba at the very least.
I'm fucking carrying a tuba. The fuck is this bullshit? Motherfucker got a snare drum and a cymbals and motherfucker got a bass drum.
Yeah.
And they're doing like legit college D1 stadiums. That's why I'm like, yo, this is not realistic, bro. Because ain't no way everybody would have been like, yo, I'm not doing that.
Well, if you have to be I guess if you have to be a bass, you gotta be a little stronger in the core than like a flute would.
But logistically, for just running, I'm like, hey, man, this is crazy. I should only have to do one of these then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that. I should not care about the logistical things in this movie.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Because also the whole movie, you're like, yo, there's never one shot of Nick Cannon with the drums. You know what I mean? It's all here. So yeah, don't go there. Don't go for logistics.
All right.
Because they never show the star doing the thing.
Not even faking doing the thing. Not even, because all you have to do is like look rudimentary from far away, right? You just gotta learn like a couple exercises.
Zoom in.
That's great.
Zoom in. I watched A Star Is Born yesterday, nigga. At least Bradley Cooper was pretending to play the guitar. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he was playing, but at least I was like, oh, there's the guitar, there's him. I see it all in one frame. You know what I mean? Like, I can at least picture that he's, jeez, whatever. But like you said, we're not even going to try.
Okay.
It's really funny, bro. Mm-hmm. So, God damn it. I'm going to be crying laughing. They're running the stairs, they're getting yelled at, blah blah blah. Then it's a cut to them and they're doing wall sits, like like walls like for your abs. Those walls, and it's the drum line. They're holding their sticks out and they're like boom, boom, cat, boom, 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 and like they're all doing they're all keeping up with the pace while they're doing these wall sits, right? Mm-hmm. And then one guy goes up to me, he's like, "What's your name, Crab?" And then the white guy's like, "Jason," and he's like, "What's wrong? You didn't want to play for Georgia Tech? Not enough black people there?" And then he's like, "No, sir, I didn't want to play for Georgia Tech because I didn't like their musical influences and blah, blah, blah. And also, there isn't that many black people there." And then everybody busts out laughing.
Yeah.
And then the bald guy goes, "You broke the cadence. Now we're starting from the top. Try it again. Boom, boom. It's actually a cool shot because like they're all like in the rain and shit.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was a cool shot. Mm-hmm. And then, so they're all, next scene, they're all like putting ice on their shoulders and their knees, and they're in their dorm room just like complaining about how rough this is, right? Oh my God, this is crazy. And then they're ragging on the white dude, and the white dude's like, "Hey man, don't be giving me that white man can't jump bullshit." Shout out.
He must have watched the latest episode. He must have watched the recent episode.
He must be a beaner.
Yeah. Ow.
He's like, I could have been a P1 at any college, Georgia Tech, this place, that place. Mm-hmm. He was like, but I chose to play here. No, he's like, oh, then the Devin guy's like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "Man, AT&T is the reason I picked up a drumstick." And he says how like he lived down the street and he can hear him playing, and like that, this is the biggest band, one of the biggest bands of all time, and like blah blah blah, right? Mm-hmm.
It's also called AT&T, which is funny.
A&T, my bad. It's A&T. I keep saying AT&T.
Okay,
it's A&T.
A&T. That makes way more sense.
I just keep saying AT&T.
Okay.
I didn't even notice I was saying it. Yeah. That's what's funny is because I wrote down A&T to make sure I didn't say AT&T. And I still have. I'm an idiot.
I wish it was AT&T now. I wish I never mentioned it. And the whole
movie, I'd have just kept saying it.
I would have been like, this is AT&T College, and we're not even going to talk about it.
So right then, while they're complaining, the Ernie guy gets a call, right? And he freaks out, and he runs over, and he takes the call all weird. And they're looking at him, and they're like, "Why is he acting weird?" And he's clearly trying to hide the call, okay? So, cuts to Dr. Lee, and he's watching practice, right? Mm-hmm. The guy, the director. And then the president of the school comes up behind him, and he says, "What can I look forward to this year, Dr. Lee?" And he says how... He says how you can look forward to good music and blah, blah, blah. And then he gives them shit on how they lost the BET Classic the last 4 years in a row. Mm-hmm. And that goes to funding, and that goes to, alumni wanting to give more, us winning, and that goes to scholarships and blah, blah, blah. So you need to fucking step, like starts giving shit about how he needs to step it up, right? And then he says how they also need to play more up-to-date music. That's why they keep losing. Mm-hmm. And then he says, and then Dr. Lee's like, "I'm not going to sacrifice my musicianship for the thong song." I really thought was funny because he said thong song.
Yeah. And like, I'm sure the winners of this competition aren't playing the thong song.
We'll continue.
Oh, what is this reaction?
Zoe Saldana is practicing with the dance team.
Okay, she's
like
part of the dance. Does she do the flags and all that shit or no? Just dance.
Just the majorettes.
Okay.
So I knew that word. She notices Nick Cannon watching and he's like dancing and fucking around, and she walks over, right, and she's like, "I'm sorry, rehearsals are closed." And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a dancer." And she was like, "Do I know you?" And he was like, "No, Dr. Lee sent me over here to, keep an eye on things, blah, blah, blah." And he keeps flirting with her and making her laugh. And then she goes, "Beat it, Devin." And he goes, "Oh, so you do know me, right?" And then they laugh. And then when he comes back, he was like 15 minutes late. And so now everyone has to do like nonstop push-ups. So he's a piece of shit. Okay? So, right
yeah,
there,
how is he still on the team?
don't know.
How is he not even disciplined?
Yeah.
This is why they're losing. What?
Not that it's music and you can't really compete. I don't understand the competing aspect.
No,
of it.
I mean they have their own criteria and they're judging, but it's like if the team isn't disciplined, they're not going to win. The Patriots are a dynasty because they send good players off to random ass teams and they don't fit the game plan.
You need to learn something from Bill Belichick, Dr.
Bro! Yeah, get him off on the team. Put him on the Browns. Get him off the team.
That is funny because the other college is called Morris Brown.
Oh wow,
That's really like,
hey,
I didn't know if you meant to do that or not.
No, I didn't,
That
but
was
sometimes I'm just with it, man.
Well done, bro. I'll break the camera frame for that. That was well done. Like, whoa. So the line now is working on walking and playing, like walking forward and playing, right?
Right.
And he keeps
I remember
going,
that.
Yeah, he keeps yelling at him. "What are y'all looking at? Don't look down, blah, blah, blah." He's like, and he says how it's like making love. Can't be down there looking down, trying to get the flow right. You gotta, you fucking look straight and just wear that ass out. Eyes on me. And then he starts playing he starts playing on their drums while like you have to look at him and not break while playing on your drum while he's playing on it.
Right.
And then Ernie who doesn't last long at all.
Yeah.
And he's like, see, look at that. He's like, bullshit, eyes on me. And then he goes to the girl.
Who kills it.
And then she does it. She lasts a little longer, but still fucks up. And he's like, he's a little impressed. He's like, whack, eyes on me. And then he gets to Devin. He's like, eyes on me, freshman. And then Devin's like, and then and then they're both going like, so whoever is really playing is crazy impressive because it's like so fast.
Right.
And then finally the Sean guy fucks up and looks down and breaks, and then Devin like smiles, and then the Dr. Lee was like looking, like he's behind him, and he like pans back. You see he was watching the whole time,
right?
And then he's like, "Impressive, Mr. Miles, but while you were too busy trying to make Sean look like an asshole, you made yourself look like a jackass. Now let's take it from the top, but follow me." And then he's like, "Okay," and then they start playing, and then Devin's all cocky at first, and then he starts moving backwards.
Who?
Like the director, like moving back, like, and then he looks down. He's like, eyes on me. And now he like keeps walking back, and like, of course he can barely like do it. And then he's like, and he was like, "You must learn to follow before you can lead, Mr. Miles."
Man, it's funny when something like tries to be deep.
Bro, it's nothing better. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe you guys tried. Like you know what? You could have watched the playback. You saw what it was. You know what I mean?
Well, they saw something that would make a lot of money. That's what they saw.
They were right. You know what? They were right.
Who is wrong?
Who is wrong?
Yeah, who are we really?
Beaners.
Yeah, we're terrible people. These guys made this movie and it was successful, and we're just like, way to miss the mark, Nick Cannon.
Just throwing up.
We suck. All right. Anyways, what happens next?
Let's have some more fun.
Yeah.
So the guy goes, "Congrats, you are not crabs anymore. Now you are crab drummers." Mm-hmm. He said, "Tomorrow's eliminations, which will determine if you become A&T drummers." He's like, "So go celebrate." And then they all cheer, "Yeah." And he was like, "But after you prove a thorough knowledge of the rule book." And then they all they get back in line. And he starts going down the line asking them questions, right? And then they all answer the questions. And then he goes, "What is," and he looks at Devin and he goes, "the last rule of the rule book?" And then Devin's like, and then he looks over at the Ernie dude, and the Ernie guy's like, and he's like, head, and the Ernie guy's like, and he's like, stay ahead of the game. And everybody goes, "Oh!" And then the guy laughs. He goes, "Ha ha! All right, drummers. Well, why don't you guys make sure Devin here, like take Devin here back to the dorms, and show him the last rule of the rule book. And then everybody looks at him and smiles. And he's like, what? And they get back to the room, and then they sit him down in the chair and all circling around him, and they throw the book at him. And he's like, man, what's this last rule? I'm going to get a strip dance, a strip tease or something? Something really lame that a lame-ass nigga would say. Mm-hmm. And then he opens the back of the book, and it goes, if you do not read all the rules in the rule books, the other bandmates will shave your head. And he's like, what? And he looks up.
That's pretty good last rule.
Oh! Everybody's freaking out, right? Because he has braids.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh! And he's like, whoa, man, y'all ain't touching my head. And then the Sean guy walks up, and he's like, Hey, rookie, just so you know, you may look like me, but you ain't never gonna play like me. Because he's bald, right? And he's like, watch my hands. I get a little shaky, right? And then he goes, hey, man, you ain't touching my head. He goes, if you don't do this, you don't get to be a part of the band. He goes, hey, bro, I don't give a damn. You ain't touching my head. He goes, so you want me to tell Dr. Lee you don't want to be a part of the band? I don't give a fuck what you tell Dr. Lee. And he storms out. And everybody says, oh, Devin.
What a fucking bitch-ass, lame-ass. I don't want him to succeed.
Yeah, I know you don't want this guy to win. Me either. He kind of sucks when you talk about it out loud.
Yeah, when you suss it out with another person.
Yeah,
like, this guy blows. Yeah.
When you suss it out. So it's so he gets mad, he leaves, right? So right then the Ernie dude's talking to him in his room, and he's like, hey man, you should just let him do it, blah, blah, blah. It's not that big of a deal. And then the Devin guy's just sitting there, he's like, all right, well, whatever, man. I'm going to a party. Catch you later. And he leaves. And he's sitting there and he's thinking about it. And then later it cuts to the party and everybody's dancing and shit. And then he walks in and he's got the big afro now. It's like his hair's out. And he walks to the middle of the party and he holds up the clippers and everybody's like, ah! He's like, wait, who knows how to do uptown fade? And everyone's like, ah, man! And then they all like panic, fades out, right?
Right. Oh, so he comes around.
So
in literally 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
So there was no point in all of that.
None at all.
Yeah. It was like it's like you know in Suicide Squad where the guy leaves and he comes back literally the next scene. Yeah, it's like, well, that's defeated the whole point of him leaving.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's nighttime, right? And then a guy's going, we're going to start the competition now. This will rank you through P1s through P4s. Only P1s have a guaranteed spot on the field. P2s and 3s are up depending on what it is. You know what I mean?
And P4s, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
And he goes, everyone performs like alone in front of the table judges with like the lights on them in the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. And then up top is all the upperclassmen with their cars. And then the upperclassmen vote as well depending on their headlights. So either 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know what I mean? So
that's hard to count.
What do you mean?
Someone has to like tally this. Like, how does it work?
Well, no. Like the upperclassmen are one car. It's just not like all the cars. Like they're all. You see them all up there, and then you see it's one car, and they're like they show the Ernie dude, right? Then he does his, and then he gets 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's like it's pretty. And then and then there's also it's the leaders of all the sections, and then the Dr. Lee. So everybody kind of tallies it up all together.
Okay. So,
they go in for. And then the next person is Devin, right? Devin walks out, and he has a fresh cut, and then the Dr. Lee goes, Mr. Miles, will you please play the required piece on the stand? He goes, okay. And he starts killing it. And he doesn't look down at all. And then the Sean guy notices and he looks over and he goes, this crab hasn't looked down at the sheet music once. And he's like, yeah, so? He's like, who the hell memorizes an audition piece? It's meant to be challenging, so you stumble over it on purpose. And he goes, you memorized yours. And he was like, he leaned back. You know what I mean? Like, it's also like, bro, what? You forgot you did that?
Yeah, right?
But what? He finishes. Everybody goes down to grade, and then Devin does a solo. Even better than the thing he just did, right? Doing all the cool shit with his hands and shit, you know? Yeah, all that kind of cool stuff. And fucking, and then he finishes. And then he goes, was the required music not of your liking, Mr. Miles? And he goes, no, I just thought I'd add my own little flavor to it. That's all. He kind of smiles. And then they go to grade him. And then he walks off.
What does he get from the headlights?
And so the Sean guy goes, look, we all know he's incredible. But I've been working 3 years to get the chemistry right in this drum line. And this is finally right. This is finally our year. I don't want this guy coming in and ruining my line. Ruining our line. Right? And then right then, just one light, right? And then Dr. Lee goes, your line thinks otherwise, And he's like,
Oh no!
No.
No! He shall not pass.
Yeah, he does say
And then
that
he
line.
dies.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
Well, he comes back
Yeah.
as a white man. So
Sean the White.
Sean the White. They post the rankings the next day. He calls his mom. You see him go read it, and he calls mom. He's like, "That's right, mama. P1 in everything. Only freshman ever to do that." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Next scene, he's in the library, right? And Zoe Saldana comes up flirting to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she's saying how she's looking for somebody cute with cornrows and blah blah blah. And then they start flirting and they're laughing. And then he goes, she's like, "I heard you. Congratulations on making P1 on the band. Everybody's talking about it." He's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to see you move to my beats." And then she's like, "Do you talk to every woman like this? Do they respond?" And he's like, "No, most women talk to me." And then it's a man's world plays, and she's all smitten. Oh, poor Zoe.
Yeah, she's dumb. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. She's playing a very dumb character right now.
She blushes. So
Most women talk to me.
So they talk more, and she's telling him how she's a philosophy major and blah blah blah. And then he was like, "Oh, why you do that? Like, why aren't you a dance major or some shit? Like, why you do that?" And then she was like, "Oh, well, my parents paid for school. I want to dance, but I don't have that choice, that luxury." And then he said some bullshit about like happiness is dumb. And then she's like, it's just dumb, right?
Yeah. Is it? But does it resonate with her? Or she's like,
No.
oh, that's okay. So it's even dumb for the dumb shit he says in the movie.
He says how if it wasn't for Dr. Lee, he wouldn't even be in college and all this shit. But she's kind of listening.
Right.
So the bald leader then comes up and says how this is the next scene. He comes up and says how he has the solo for tomorrow, like the upcoming game this week. So pay attention. It's really hard, blah, blah, blah. And then Devin's looking off smiling at his girl, and she's smiling back. And he's like, "I said pay attention. Most of y'all probably ain't gonna be able to get it anyway." And then he starts and he does the solo, and then Devin watches. And then while he's watching it, it turns into some like Sherlock Holmes shit. And you see like how he can like, you see how he can see it? Yes, they do.
No,
they
some
slow
like
it up.
Beautiful Mind
Nigga,
type,
they
like
slow it up. You haven't even seen that movie, which is funny.
Yeah.
But yes. That's crazy that you haven't seen that, but that is
I
the
get that reference. Yeah.
It's a Beautiful Mind. Sherlock Holmes, this nigga's like,
And he sees like the angles,
and he's counting it in his head, and he's like, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what I mean? Like that whole bullshit, right? And it's in slow motion. It's all crazy. And then he finishes it, and then right then the guy goes, "All right, so you guys got a week to learn this. Pair up, start." And then right then he's like, and everybody's looking at him like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And he stops, and then and he's like, Sean's like, and then one guy's like, "I think that'll do," and then everybody laughs, right?
What?
That's what he said.
No, that doesn't do. Everyone else has to learn the thing. One guy knowing it doesn't do shit. This is why it's a bad band. Discipline problems, man. This is a culture that needs to be changed.
So they're all in the big band rehearsal room now, right?
Of course.
The big room.
Yeah.
And he gives them the song they're going to play this week, Dr. Lee. And it's an Earth, Wind, and Fire song. And everybody complains. Oh. And he goes, "Oh, what? Y'all don't want to play Earth, Wind, and Fire?" Like, oh, they're like, "No, we want to play something new, play something fresh." He's like, "Oh, y'all want to play a little Ice Cube, a little Snoop Doggy Dogg?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, all those rappers sample from this band. So that's what we play. Take it from the top." And then they start playing. It's like, da-da-da, and it's like cut to them outside. And they're doing like big movement, practicing things, like big shots. Big movement band stuff, you know?
The field stuff.
Yeah. So right before practice ends, Dr. Lee goes, because he says we got a game coming up, here we go. But he goes, but before that, we have a challenge. P3 Donnell will challenge P2 Jason on basis of musicianship and choreography. And then right then the white dude's the Jason guy. He's like, "What the fuck? Shit." He goes, "That's my roommate, man. That motherfucker." Like, you know what I mean? Like, And so they go up to the front, and then they like do like a drum off thing pretty much, and the other dude just kills him. Just like it's so much clearly better than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the Jason dude's sitting there and he's breathing heavy, and then Dr. Lee walks up and he whispers something in his ear, and then he walks off all slow. You know what I mean? Like defeated. You know what I mean? So as that happens, everybody's walking away, right?
Yeah, dude, he's building terrible morale in his band. Dude, I could do it. I could list out the reasons why they're not winning.
I mean,
like at an organizational level, they don't have a culture for winning. They don't have a mindset for winning.
A culture.
They don't have a culture, dude. This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
You're the greatest, dude. You have a culture.
Yeah, dude, you gotta win. You need a culture. Everyone knows that. That's how you win championships.
So the Sean guy goes, hey, Mini-Me, I need a volunteer to polish the drums.
Like, P2 should not be rooming with P3. You should be rooming with some other fucking thing that's not like a woodwind, should be with a brass, and that's how the band gets to know each other. God, let me take this band over.
He goes, I need somebody to polish the drums tonight. Nick Cannon goes, that's a P4's job. I ain't doing that shit. He goes, well, I'm making it your job. Don't like it? Quit. So the next scene, he's cleaning the drums, right? And he's pissed. The Jason guy comes in. He's like, need some help? He's like, yeah. So they start working together, and then the Devin dude's cutting a freestyle, and then they're like laughing, right? Cut to, you hear this crowd going crazy. They're all in their band gear. They're in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Crowd is deafening loud.
Right.
And then Devin goes, damn, crowd's louder now than they were when the football team was out there. And he goes, because it's all about the marching band, baby. Here, halftime is game time, which is true at some schools.
Yeah, I know. I get that. I 100% get that.
So they're all like, they're all in.
Our football team was awful.
Yeah.
So I can
it's one of
imagine.
those black colleges where it's like the band, like, yeah, people come and watch the band, and
yeah.
then when the game's on, nobody's paying attention. You know what I mean?
That means their team is bad.
Yes. So Sean, like right then, the Sean dude saying how he's yelling about, hey, if you drop your sticks, don't bend down and grab them, rookies. Just keep playing with your hands, baby. All right. And then right then Devin goes, I never drop my sticks.
Oh, so he's about to drop his sticks.
Right. And then he looks at him and he goes, hey, freshman, there's about to be thousands of screaming fans out there. Something you've never seen. All right. It's scary. And then Devin goes, it would be scary if I guess it would be scary if I wrote a whack ass solo. And he was like, what'd you say to me?
This is before a game.
Right before they're about to walk out. And he goes, I ain't mumble. And he goes, you want my solo, freshman? It's yours. And he goes, man, you don't want to do that. He goes, take it. Let's see what you got. And then he walks off, right? And then, of course, another dude whispers in his ear, Sean, what are you doing, man? He's going to freeze up like every other freshman. Just watch.
Nah, he's going to kill it. Why is this guy winning? I hate that this guy is winning.
Right then, Dr. Lee comes out and he's like, all right, everybody, here we go. One band, one sound. And then they march out. The shot is so dope of them coming out. The crowd goes crazy. Amazing shot of them coming out. They are amazing, right? They're just really good. And he goes, all right, on your feet for the baddest band in the land. You know, and then Dr. Lee, he 1, 2, 3. And then the song kicks in. Zoe starts dancing in the front of the squad. And they absolutely kill this, right? The formations are crazy. There's a lot of cool shots of all these crazy, ridiculous, cool formations and moving parts, right? So they finish, crowd cheers, and then the guy goes, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some drums in it. And then the crowd really goes crazy, right? Because the drumline steps out and the band separates, right? Crowd's going nuts. And then Sean calls it, and then they start slow. It's really cool, right? And then they're like in unison, and then they all do the wave, like with their sticks. Like in unison. It's really dope. And then they whip it back. And then Devin and then right then they start like doing this cool shit where they're playing and flipping the sticks and like playing on the other person's drums next to them, like,
right?
You know. And then right then they're like doing a cool like waiting thing. And then Sean looks at Devin. He goes, "Come on." And then Devin looks. And he's like, "Go." And then Devin's like, and he's like. And then Sean walks out, right? And he starts doing his solo and he starts killing it, crowd going crazy. And Devin's sitting there, he's like, fuck. And then he starts playing like behind him, right? And then all the rest of his mates kind of look at him and they're like, what's he doing? And then he walks out and now he's standing next to Sean. And he's playing and the crowd's going extra crazy. Right. And Sean's looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then they start playing each other, like playing at the same speed. And then Devin gets in front of him.
And plays on his drum.
No, and just plays in front. Now you can't see him.
Right.
And so the rest of the band now walks up and gets even with Sean. So now it looks like he's in the front, Devin, right? And he keeps playing. He's going crazy. The crowd's going nuts. And then everybody stops, like Dr. Lee calls it. And then he just does a crazy solo in front of everyone. And they just lose their fucking minds, right? Does it for way too long, too. You know what I mean? Just everybody's going, Dr. Lee, he's pissed. And you see the Sean dude, he's pissed. But everybody's going fucking crazy, okay? So right then, they show an old black man in the crowd.
I can't yell.
Right,
I can't yell about the. They should have never let it get to this point. But anyways,
they should have never let it get to this. They show an old black man in the crowd watching, right? And he's like a rich man. You can tell he's like curious. Like so, they show him, and then they cut back to and Dr. Lee comes up, and they're all back in the tunnel now, and he's yelling, "What the hell was that? Why do we rehearse? Why do we even rehearse?" You know, he's going off, and then right then. He goes, Devin, you were showboating for 5 minutes. If I wouldn't have called it, your ass would still be out there playing. And Sean tries to explain to him what happened. He's like, shut your ass up. I don't want to hear another word from you. You know what I mean?
Sean didn't fuck up at all.
He kind of did. He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Why did you even say let him come out? You know what I mean? Like, why did you even get that in his head, dude?
Yeah,
what are you
I
fucking
guess.
doing? This guy's been a problem this whole time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I'm right.
You're right.
So he goes, whatever beef you two are having, you better grill it up and eat it right now because my job is the one that's on the line. And then right then the president runs up and he's like, it's the greatest show I've ever seen. Devin, you are really a spectacular piece. Oh my God, son, you are going places. You are something special. And then Dr. Lee just has to eat that up. And then after he walks away, Dr. Lee looks at Sean. He goes, Sean, you polish the drums tonight. And then he walks off and then Devin smiles. He's like, I left the polish on the bottom shelf, bruh. And he walks off and then Sean's like, so nobody learned a lesson at all. Isn't that great?
Bro, he's so unlikable. Nick Cannon is unlikable.
No. Nicholas?
Huh. Who would have ever thought that Nick Cannon would be unlikable?
So the next thing they're watching that Ernie guy eat like a lunatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they ask Devin what he's doing tonight. And he's like, sorry, y'all. I got plans. And he leaves and he sees the Zoe Saldana girl.
Mm-hmm.
Then the girl across from Ernie, the girl in the line with the braids that was doing the push-up, she asked him on a date. And
Ernie, the white guy?
Ernie, the black guy.
The black
Jason's
guy.
the white guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he clearly wants to go on the date, but he gives all these excuses to why he can't. Right?
Okay, he's afraid.
And then,
I get
and
it.
he storms off and leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they cut back to Devin, and he's buying Zoe like a Coke and a drink, and then she's saying, and they're flirting, and then he's asking her like, and she's like, "You really want to impress me tonight?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to." He's like, "Yeah, I want to impress you." He's like, She's like, "Why don't you take me to the Sigma Phi party then?" And he's like, "All right, cool." So the next scene, they're going up to this big fraternity house party, right? And they're dancing and they're having a good time and they're laughing, and then this girl walks up and she goes, "Hey, Layla, let's do a step, girl." And then she goes, "I'll be right back." She whispers in his ear, and then they make room on the dance floor, and then her and all these girls do a fucking badass like step. You know what a step is?
Like a dance?
Like
yeah.
But it's like in unison and it's like crazy.
Just
and
in
all
the
this
middle
cool
of a
shit.
party.
It's a black fraternity party, so this
Okay.
actually does happen.
Okay, fine.
And so they're doing their thing. They're like Alpha, Sigma, Phi, and they do all the things right. And then right then, like, everybody cheers for them. And then these black guys come up in blue shirts, and then they start doing a crazy cool step. And they're like, "Take me out, boo, 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 take me out." I say, and then it goes in slow mo, and then this really romantic song starts coming up, and then her and Devin make out, baby. You know, kissing.
No, I got that.
Oh.
But
What?
yeah, what?
Oh my god, this movie's crazy.
This guy sucks.
So the next day at practice,
Am I the only one who sees it? Is this the
Yeah,
Twilight
he's the only
Zone?
one. No. Yes, it is. Dr. Lee asked Sean to play the new music he prepared for next week's game.
Mm-hmm.
Sean goes, "Why don't we let Devin do it?" And then
What?
And Devin's like, "No, big dog, why don't you go ahead and play it?" And he goes, "No, man, why don't you know? I really want you to play it." And then Dr. Lee's like, "What is this, Beavis and Butthead?" "Devin, just play the music." And Devin's like, "I don't know." He's like, "It doesn't have to be perfect, son. I just want to hear it. Play it." And then Devin's looking at the music and he's like, "Fuck this." And he storms off. And then he goes, and then the Sean guy's like, "I knew it." And then he goes, Mr. Miles, where are you going?" He's like, "I don't want to play that whack ass music." And then right then another band guy looks at the Sean guy and he's like, "Man, that was some whack ass shit to do, Sean." And then he goes, "What do you mean, man? The boy can't read music. That's disrespectful." He goes, "I don't give a damn if the boy can't read a book. You know he's bad." You know, and then he gives this whole speech about how he's disrespecting music, though. You know what I mean? Because he can't read. Dr. Lee storms off and follows him. And now they're in a meeting, and Dr. Lee is yelling at Devin for lying to everybody. He's like, "You lied to me, you lied to everyone, blah, 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 to get a scholarship. We enrolled you into the school, you can't even read music." And then he goes, "Just from that, now you're a P4, and I'm enrolling you in classes, the basic music classes, till you learn how to play." And then Devin's like, "What are you talking about, man? You brought me down here because of the way I am. That's why you brought me." He's like, "That's what got me down here, being the best musician." He's like, "No, what got you down here is lying to everyone." This movie's so serious.
I haven't broke with the camera in like 2 minutes now. I'm so like, what?
He said he's lying to everyone. So?
This is the thing that gets him demoted?
Yeah.
Not the insubordination, but the fact that he has a superpower where he can see music.
He does have a superpower.
Yeah, and just instantly play it better than everyone else, and that's what gets him demoted? Bro, the culture is fucked up. The fact that they are going to win in the end is a farce to what it takes to be a team.
Wow. Calling it out. Asad
Yes.
Ahmad.
Yes, unless there's a complete cultural shift in the next 30 minutes.
Good point. So.
I'm heated.
And he goes, well, if you don't have the honor to learn the discipline of your craft, well, you don't deserve to be in this school, right? So he leaves. So Zoe is telling him, like, if you love music, you should take this class, blah, blah, blah. She kind of talks him into it. So the next scene, he's like in a class and he's learning and he's by himself and he's like basic music shit. And you can tell he hates it. So the next game, they're playing the Morris Brown College. Right?
Okay.
And Morris Brown is playing that, Tonto, jump on it. Like they're playing that
Great
shit,
band
right?
song.
Oh, great band.
Great band
they're
song.
ripping it up.
Yeah.
And the crowd's loving it. And then it's showing Dr. Lee, and he's like watching through binoculars, and he's really mad. And then he goes, I know what we'll do. And he goes, hit him with the Flight of the Bumblebee. And then everybody goes, ugh. And then everybody goes, Flight of the Bumblebee.
Wow, I was
Flight of the Bumblebee.
going to make a joke where he's going to be like, we're going to play some Mozart. It's like, wow, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Well, is that Mozart? I don't know, but it's in the same
Flight of
world.
the Bumblebee.
It's in the same world.
What, Flight of the Bumblebee?
Is Flight of the Bumblebee? Is that Mozart?
Might be, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's classical.
Sure.
I thought he was going to go classical.
It's not a fucking song to play during a football game.
Bow. Bow. That's a dope song.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
And so they finish the Flight of the Bumblebee. No one notices they even played, right?
Yeah.
And then cut to them over there at Morris Brown, and they play. And this crowd's going crazy, right? And then it shows the A&T band, and then like they're also going crazy.
Right.
They're like, oh, this is great, you know? And then Devin's yelling. He's like, this is bullshit. We should be playing music like that. Why are we doing this shit? Right? And then it cuts to halftime, and Morris Brown gets this great intro, and then they run out really cool as fuck, and it's an amazing shot of them and their bands on the field, and then the principal, and like they're just going crazy, right? They're just killing it, the Morris Brown College. And then the principal comes out and he yells at Dr. Lee, and he's like, where's Devin? Where's Devin? Why isn't out there? He's like, Devin can't read music. Devin can't do this. He doesn't deserve to be out here right now. And he goes, you are gonna have him out there, or you're not gonna have funding for next year. And then Dr. Lee goes, well, he's not gonna be, like, he doesn't budge. And Devin doesn't play, right? That game.
Right.
Which is, he doesn't budge for once. I don't know how, but he doesn't.
At the wrong time, you budge for this freshman during band practice, but you're like, this is the guy who writes my paychecks. I'll say no to him.
Simon Mott calling out all the flaws in this 97% in Rotten Tomatoes reviewed movie.
Please, if this is 97%, the critics can eat a dick.
For every critic ever, this was 97%.
Hey, guy who controls my future, fuck you. Hey, freshman,
guy pays my
hey,
bill.
freshman 19-year-old, do whatever you want. What? All right.
So the game's over. It's nighttime. They're loading up the bus, A&T. Morris Brown is still in uniform. The drumline is still playing, challenging them, right? And then Devin is so mad, he's loading up the bus. He's like, I can't believe we're not going to challenge these fools, blah, blah, blah. And then right then the Morris Brown director guy from earlier, the guy who was at the one game, comes up and he walks up to him and he goes, hey, this is how they have you earning your scholarship, young man? You know, and then he starts like chorusing him, trying to get him to come to Morris Brown. And then
Which I would absolutely do.
Right? Dr. Lee walks up and he goes, hey, what are you doing talking to my student? He's like, I'm just trying to get him to play for a better school. And he's like, Devin, get back on the bus. And then he gives him his card. He's like, you want to play for a real band, play real music, come talk to me. And then he takes the card from him, and then he hands Dr. Lee another card, and he goes, and if you want a job next summer, you can come talk to me too. And then he's like, I'll wipe my ass with it. Right? And he goes, good to see you still got a baton stuck up your ass. And then he laughs, and then Dr. Lee's like, oh, how dare you? And then he like, right? And then so cut to, he's like now in his office, like studying late game tape. Like a coach. And he keeps
I'll allow it.
He's rewinding the scene of Devin stepping up in front, like playing, and he's rewinding it like he's getting something from learning what to do on third down. You know what I mean? Like he's like that.
And then he go, oh, wait a minute.
Pretty much. Might as well have.
Yeah.
So, oh god. So Dr. He
so ridiculous.
He comes into practice the next day, right? Mm-hmm. And he says how the solo from the first game, they're going to use it for this next upcoming week. And how Mr. Miles, you're back on the band, so strap it up. And then Sean's like, what the fuck? And then Devin's smiling, cut to the homecoming game, okay? Now the king and queen are walking off the field. The band is entering, and they're killing it. They're
Well,
going
he just gets back on. He doesn't learn a lesson of any kind.
He doesn't learn any lessons.
Yeah.
Devin and Sean are ripping it up out there together, right? They're playing. The whole band's going nuts. A lot of formations, a lot of cool shit. So the crowd goes nuts, and then right then they go, and now, here comes Macon University for the annual homecoming drum battle. So another college comes out. The other college comes out, and they do the annual drum battle.
Right.
The red team goes first.
As is tradition.
Is this fat dude, right? And they have some cool moves. They like play with their backs turned to them or whatever. And then AT&T starts playing, and they just have so much more energy. They fucking rip it up. They destroy it, right? The next scene, the red, it shows the red team, and they drop like powder on their drums, so it looks like LeBron James.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. So that looks cool.
Right.
Then it cuts to AT&T's turn, and Devin's been looking at this fat dude the whole time, like they're mean guy, and he's playing, and then he starts walking towards him. And then, of course, everybody looks at him like, what the fuck? And then they start following him, and they're walking towards him, and he keeps playing. And then Devin moves his drum and just starts playing on the fat guy's drum. And then the fat guy punches the shit out of him. Huge brawl breaks out. Big fight, right? So big fight breaks out. Everybody trying to break it up.
That guy definitely overreacted. That's if you're having a drum battle, be prepared for them to play on your drums.
Yeah, he punches him in the face.
Yeah, what? You never been in a drum battle before?
I guess not.
Yeah. The fuck?
You're in college.
You got to put powder on yours, but he can't play on yours? Get the fuck out of here, pussy ass motherfucker.
That was really good. I believe you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because I believed it too.
so everybody fights, and then he goes. The big fight breaks out, and then he goes up to that Rob guy. And he's like, "Hey, yo, Rob, man," this other guy in the drum. He's like, "Hey, man, thanks for having my back out there. We were throwing blows." And the guy looks at him. He's like, "I wasn't fighting for your dumb ass. I was throwing fights for AT&T, bitch." And then he like walks off, and he daps up another guy, and he sees Zoe Saldana with her parents, and he goes up to try and talk to her, and then she acts like she doesn't know him and walks off. You know what I mean? And he's just like all alone, really sad music playing.
Sure. Why not? Why not? Let's just write whatever. Let's just write whatever.
So the next scene, he comes into a band meeting, and it's all the drum people, all the drum line. He's like, "Yo, why ain't nobody tell me we was having a meeting?" And then the Sean guy goes, "We don't have to tell you anything." He's like, "This is bullshit." And then they all give him the cold shoulder, and then he goes up to Dr. Lee's office. He's like, "Dr. Lee, man, the drum line's tripping. You have to go down there and talk to him. They're not even telling me about meetings." And then he's like, and he looks at him and he's like, "Look, Dr. Lee, I know I need to apologize for what happened at the game, but that's the reason you picked me. So, cause I can bring the energy. I can do this, I can do that." And he goes, "What I did was make a mistake. And now it's time to correct it. Devin, as of now, you're officially no longer a member of this band." And then he keeps talking.
Oh no! Fucking.
And it fades to like his voice fades out, and then Devin turns away and just like walks out as he keeps talking on him. And then it's the next shot, he's calling his mom, and he's like fucking crying, and he's telling her like, she's like asking how everything is, and he's telling her everything's fine, and he loves her, blah, 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 and he's just crying, but he doesn't tell her what's going on. You know what I mean? Actually, probably the best acting in the whole movie. That was hands down best acting in the whole movie.
Okay, well, he doesn't get anything from me now.
Good for you. And I mean, good, like he should.
Yeah.
So his friends are sad, right? And they're telling him like, "Man, we can't believe this, blah, blah, blah." And he gives them their uniforms, and he's like, "Man, I'll see y'all in class." Cut to at Morris Brown practice. He's walking up, and the director's going off on him. And Devin walks up, and he says, "I'm sorry to interrupt your practice, blah, blah, blah." And
already interrupting practice?
the other guy, the Morris Brown College.
I know, but he's already interrupting their practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is he learning?
And the guy goes,
what is he learning?
The guy goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. I saw your big thing at homecoming. What happened? Did Dr. Lee ground you?" He's like, "I'm out the band." He's like, "Well, it's going to happen at a school like that, blah, blah, blah." He goes like, "Well, Mr. Wade, I was wondering if maybe next year you'd have a spot for me on your band." And he's like, "Well, I'd have to see what I can do. I got to move some, to transfer your scholarship and see if we can transfer your credits and blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, you keep staying over there and you keep your head up and we'll see what we can do over here." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so.
What a Hollywood ass motherfucker to give him his card and then when he calls to be like, "I don't know."
Very Hollywood.
It's so Hollywood.
So Zoe Saldana sees him at lunch the next day and tries to talk to him, right? And Devin's pissed. He's not talking to her. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just embarrassed. My parents kept talking about that hoodlum who started the fight, and I just couldn't have him couldn't introduce you into DU, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "You don't understand. You left me alone. You know how that feels? No? Feels like this." And then he walks away.
What a bitch ass move to be like, I'm ignoring you. What the fuck? Ignore her. Just ignore her.
So Sean runs up to Dr. Lee outside, right? And he says how instead of replacing Devin, let's make the Drumline 9. I've been thinking about it. It'll be better. And then Dr. Lee goes, how long have you been thinking about it? Since you first met Devin? Since he stole your solo? Since he outshined you on the other, the other day? He was like, I used to be a man who cared more about the sound of the whole band than the sound of his own drum. And look at you now. And he gives him this whole speech, and then Sean feels really bad about himself, right?
Culture of losing. Culture of losing.
So Devin.
Actually, no, that's not it. That's a pretty good thing to
actually,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So Devin's talking to the Morris Brown guy again, right? And he's telling him, the Morris Brown guy's telling him how he's going to get him into school next year. He's going to hook him up with a part-time job over the summer to get some money in his pocket so he can just stay in Atlanta, give him a place to stay, like all this shit, right?
Right.
And he tells him how for the BET Classic he can watch it from the skybox up, from his view, and it'll be great. And then Devin's like, oh, thank you so much, man. And he goes, but first, how about you tell me what's Dr. Lee's got planned for the BET Classic this year? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, oh, you don't know. Seriously, what's he got planned? What's he working on? And he was like, oh, I honestly, I don't know. He didn't tell me anything. I don't know anything. And he was like, boy, I'm spending a lot of money for your fundraiser next year and for this and for that and blah, blah, blah. For your federal aid or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me something. And he looks at him and he's like, man, I don't know what Dr. Lee's got planned, but whatever it is, I hope he wipes the fucking floor with you with it. And he walks away. So the next scene,
I'm dead.
Devin gets a package.
I'm dead. What?
From Ray Miles, his father. And it says...
Is it subway tickets?
Yo, that'd be so funny. It says, music from some drummers and some you don't. Music from some drummers you know and some you don't. Love, Dad. And he pulls out a bunch of cassette tapes. And then one of them is his dad's actual music, right? And he listens to it, and he's mad at first, and then he starts getting inspired, and then he pulls out some other things, he starts drumming with it, and then he starts writing it down and going crazy with it, right? And then he goes to the band room, and when he goes there he sees Sean practicing.
Right.
And then he goes, man, Dr. Lee know you in here wasting tape? And he goes, are you even allowed to be in this building? And he's like, look, man, he's like, look, man, I got some shit I need to get down. So hurry up so I can fucking get to work. He's like, man, I'm tired of your non-gangster wannabe ass. You can't play. It's like, just because you can play, you think you better than everybody? He's like, man, you ain't shit. And he's like, well, strap up. And so they strap up and then they start playing going at each other, right? And they're talking shit to each other while they're playing. And then they do this gay ass, fencing, thing. And then they point their sticks at each other.
What?
So they do this crazy thing, and then then Devin goes, say I'm the man. And he keeps playing even faster and crazier, and he goes, all right, you're the man. Say it, that's right, I'm the man. He goes, all right, you're the man, but be the man without the line. And then Devin stops. And he says, Devin, you're the best, man. You're the best. Nobody can say that. But when you're out there, nobody hears you. They hear the band. One band, one sound. And then right then the printer prints out all the music that they just played because they were taped up and it was printing it out so it prints it all out. And then they look over it and then they bond over how crazy good it is.
But he can't read. How does he know?
Because he was telling him. The Sean guy was telling him how crazy, ridiculously good this is and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, man, let me help you learn how to read it. Cut to montage.
I usually like montages. Fuck this montage.
Of them
Way to
being friends.
soil the montage.
Learning to read music.
Way to soil the sanctity of the montage. Now, you know what? Listening to this is you know how what people are like, oh, gay marriage destroys the sanctity of marriage. I get that argument now. Way to destroy the sanctity of the montage.
It's hard to fuck up a montage.
The sacredness of it. Ah!
So Devin's killing it in class in this montage.
Yeah, okay.
And then they all get in line together and work out they show the line together and they're working out all this music and then blah blah blah, and he sees Zoe Saldana and he's feeling bad, and then it's cut to them working on this music and this whole piece, right? Mm-hmm. So right then Sean knocks on Dr. Lee's door and he goes, oh, come in, Sean. And then he comes in with Devin. He's like, oh, Mr. Miles, wasn't expecting you. And then they go, we were wondering if you needed some entrance music for the BET Classic, some entrance cadences. And he was like, I'll take a look at them. And then he goes, Sean arranged this and Devin arranged this and blah, blah, blah. They start saying, like, bragging about each other, all the different things they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, this ain't bad. It's got an old school feel to it, but still good. Not a bad idea at all. And then so it cuts to at practice. Dr. Lee's like, says how we're going to try something different this year. Honoring the past and the present at the same time.
The past.
The past. our new piece, arranged by Mr. Devin and Sean Taylor. The band, like, and he shows it to him, and the band, like, cheers, like they're all excited to play this. And he goes, it's complicated, but it's great, and we have no time to waste, so let's go, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, and as you kids would say, let's get crunk. The music kicks in. They get to work, right? Devin shows the Devin, he's walking down the hallway.
Way to just show the year that this was made.
Right?
Way to just be like a snapshot into the early 2000s.
They zoomed in on the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, God. I bet you in some theaters people were like, oh, back whenever this was made.
Some people, do you mean black people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And some white people who are trying too hard. Don't count them out as well.
That's right. It's 2003, baby. They're
Yeah.
out there.
There's always white people who want to be black for some reason. I don't get it. It seems hard. It seems way easier to be white, but whatever.
This podcast is really about. Learning how hard it is to be black.
Yeah. I mean, from where I'm sitting, whoo, glad I'm not that. All right. Anyways, what is
Oh my God, he's hearing a guy jamming in the equipment room, right?
Yeah.
He goes in, and it's the Jason guy, and he's in there practicing with his bass drum. And he goes, what are you doing, man? He's like, I'm trying to get my spot back. And he keeps practicing, and he's like moving. He's like, doing the fucking river dance? What are you doing? And then he explains to him and like starts trying to help him. He's like, man, you got to make love to the drum. He's like, man, I do love my drum. He's like, no, you got to bang the drum. He's like, man, I am banging the drum. No, man, you got to fuck the drum. He's like, what? And then he basically shows him like fucking the drum. And then it cuts to the girls walking by, and he's like, man, you hitting it like a virgin. And they're like, listening. Like, that's it. Hit that shit. Yeah, wax that shit. Like, you know, like that kind of scene.
Yeah, like a Three's Company type thing.
Yeah. So, okay. So,
what's happening? So now he's like, Jason's like really good at it because he knows how to fuck it.
Yeah, so they're walking down the hallway, right? And then they're bragging about how much better he is, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking. And then the girl runs up. The girl with the braid, like the girl that's also in the line. And then she was like, they took Ernest. And they're like, what? And they're like, man, in black hoodies, they ran up and they took Ernest. And they're like, oh my God, it's okay. We'll find him. And then so they go and they hop in a car and they go try to find him, right? And then they come up on like this big, like all black men in like black cape hoodies and shit. And they're like, yo, what the fuck? Is this the black KKK? And they're like burning shit and all that. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And then a guy goes, and gentlemen, welcome to Kappa Psi band fraternity. And right then Devin goes, oh shit. And he runs up and he goes, Ernie, yo, you did it, dog. And then Ernie looks at him and he runs over and he's like, yo, what up, man? Oh man, yeah, I did it, baby. I'm official now. I'm sorry we weren't allowed to tell you guys, but I was pledging for this thing. And he goes, but hold on one second. And then he grabs the girl and makes out with her. And he goes, I would love to go on a date with your fine ass. And she's like, remember when he thought he was all nervous? He was joining a fraternity.
Why would that make him nervous?
No, you thought he was nervous, and that's why he said no to date the girl.
Oh, he was doing fraternity stuff.
He was doing it every night. He was doing like they were doing when they pledge.
Pledge.
So
yeah.
he couldn't go on a date.
Oh, okay.
And that was the beeline story to this movie. And that was the subplot being wrapped up. I'm not even kidding. That's why I told you that. I was like, no, that was the B story to the movie.
Yeah, when you said it, I was like, oh my God, I don't want this to be the B story. And then when you said it, I was like, well.
That's the B story. Now we can get back to finishing the A story.
Now we can relax and be like, oh, thank God that's closed. I was like, how are they going to deal with this loose end? I don't know.
You know, in Titanic, there's the love story and then the ship going down.
Yeah.
So that was the ship.
That was the ship going.
Yeah. Now we can get back to the love story.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Oh, bro, you're so fucking stupid. So, right? It's the next night at practice, and blah blah blah. And the band leader goes, people say Dr. Lee's going, people say the band is just a reflection of the director, but I gotta say that you guys have influenced me more than I know I've influenced you, and what you've done and blah 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 has been so great, and I'm so proud of all of you, you know. And then right then a guy goes, excuse me, Dr. Lee. It's the Jason guy. I'd like to challenge Donnell Jones for P2 to P3 on musicianship and choreography. And then Dr. Lee's like, challenge, you know? And so the Donnell guy comes up, and you can tell now he's nervous, you know what I mean? And then they get in front, and they do the same thing again, and then Jason just buries him. You know what I mean? He's like all over the movie. And now the Donnell guy's like moving late. And you'll see if you see the movie, like, oh, okay. Just kills him, right? Dr. Lee whispers in the Donnell guy's ear, and then everybody celebrates and cheers, which is really weird that it's like, did everybody hate Donnell? You know what I mean?
Like I said, these things should happen behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, culture.
So, Mr. Miles.
I can't yell about it anymore. It is what it is at this point. They're going to win, and it's bullshit.
Dr. Lee goes, Mr. Miles, can I holler at you for a second? And he goes, yes, sir. He goes, if it means anything, I went back and forth 100 times in my head, whether letting you on that field tomorrow. But I can say there's a spot for you open next year. And he's, oh, thank you, Dr. Lee. And he hugs him really big, thank you. And then he sees Zoe, and then they smile, and they walk up, and then he's like, hey. And they're like, hey. He's like, how about we just start over? And she's like, I'd like that. He's
you guys
like,
didn't go. You guys didn't go anywhere. You made out once.
Hi, I'm Devin. He's like, hi, I'm Layla. He's like, oh, that's kind of hot, you know? Blah, blah, blah. They hug, gag. So Devin walks out to the Giant Stadium, right? Where they actually, where they do the SEC championship game and shit. Atlanta.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah. I guess I could have said where the Falcons played. The SEC champion.
What are you talking about? I think that changes from year to year.
No, it's there.
Oh,
the
it's
SEC championship game.
The
Not that you're thinking of. The SEC championship game is always there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
But anyway.
The more you know.
More you know. So he goes, Devin walks out and he's looking at the stadium. And then he closes his eyes and he hears the crowd screaming, right? And then cut to, you see the crowd like now on the screen. They're screaming. They actually get Stuart Scott from ESPN, the real Stuart Scott. R.I.P.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah, the best.
Fucking best.
Yeah.
To do the intro for this. To the
Great.
BET.
Great. This is the first thing they've done that I liked.
Classic.
Yeah.
And he intros it and he goes, 5 of the South's best bands competing for $50,000 in scholarship funds and a year's worth of bragging rights to be the top band in the country. I wonder how much they paid him for that. They had to pay that nigga for this.
Yeah, dude. That guy's like famous.
So, then he was famous as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, they do that. It's packed as shit.
Mm-hmm.
The first band goes out, they're ripping. They're doing rap music. The judges are kind of into it. Second band goes out, they also do rap music. The judges are a little more into it. Third band goes out, even harder rap music, get the crowd going, right? They introduce Morris Brown. Now, the lights cut. And then the Sean guy goes, do these motherfuckers do anything new every year? Anything new ever, right? And then you hear a guy go, the future is upon us. Now welcome the Morris Brown College Marching Wolves Band featuring recording artist Petey Pablo. Y'all ready?
No.
USA!
No.
USA!
Holy shit.
I told y'all. The band starts playing.
What'd you tell us, Petey?
He said, I told y'all.
Tell us, Petey.
So the crowd goes fucking nuts, obviously.
What was his big song? Freak a League?
Oh, he had a couple, dude.
He had a couple.
North Carolina,
yeah,
come on
yeah.
and raise up.
Yeah.
Freak a League. Yeah, that's a great one. And then this
With all
was his
those girls'
third. He only had
names?
3 songs. This was his third one.
Yeah.
So crowd goes crazy, right? And then cut back
Crunk
to
and Petey Pablo. You could put
they
you could put this movie in a museum one day, and people are
time
like,
capsule.
"This is what 2004 was like."
This is definitely a 2004 time capsule movie.
Yeah.
So cut to Dr. Lee and he goes, the radio is off now. Time for some real music. He's like, when you get out there, just enjoy playing with your bandmates. And right then he goes, and remember, everybody, one band. And then they cut him off. They go, one band, one sound. And they all run out, right?
This is after Petey Pablo gets done.
Yeah. So they come out and the announcer says he's like, now it's time for A&T to take you on the time machine, take you in a time machine. And here we go. Let's start in the way back. And then they start killing it. And they play that. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Like that song, right? Mm-hmm. And they spell out the 1970. And then as they do that, they start playing Jackson 5. Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
Okay, so they're going
really
to the
cool
decades.
transition, right?
Yeah.
So big, that goes crazy. And then they transition from that into baby, give me one more, show you that I love you. Anymore. Oh, turn it up, let me see you turn it up. Like that. It's a really dope cut.
Right.
Crowd loses its fucking mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then as they're doing that, they spell out 2002, which is really cool, because they're playing a song from 2002. So it's really cool, right? And crowd goes crazy. Devin's cheering from the sidelines. So the judges tally all the votes. The announcers are AJ and Free from 106 and Park. So yes, this is extremely time capsule movie. So he goes, today for the first time.
And then everyone got up on their sidekicks and we're texting.
Yo, might as well, dude. They announced the Patriots.
It's the Razor phones, probably. Everyone has their Razor phones.
So they go, for the first time in the BET Classic history, we have a two-way tie.
What?
They go, and people boo. Everybody boos. They go, Morris Brown and Dr. Lee from A&T. The crowd goes crazy, right? And they go, please step forward. For the first time in the BET Classic history, we will have a drumline competition to decide the winner of this year. Drumlines will meet center field and play 2 cadences. And then that's how we will decide, right?
And that's it. No other rules.
So right then, the Dr. Lee looks at Devin and goes, hey, Devin.
Suit up.
You want to give them a taste of what they're going to get next season? Also to say season's crazy. All right? And Devin goes, for real? And he goes, as long as it's okay with your band leader. And then he looks at Sean, and Sean's like, suit up. And he starts taking off his clothes. And then I never forgot this. They go, hey, Cecil, take your uniform off. And you hear some guy off camera go, what? And then the guy goes, pants too, bro, come on. And then the next shot, he's just in the drum line. And I've never forgotten about Cecil, bro. This is the worst day of Cecil's life.
Yeah, hashtag pray for Cecil.
Dude. Yeah. Also, turns out his last name was The Lion.
Yeah. You wrote that down.
No, I just thought of that, but that's the dumbest joke I've ever thought of in my life.
Yeah. At the end, you see just a dentist just shooting
against this guy. Yo, I always thought about this dude though, of like, yo, you telling me I played in the thing that got us to the finals.
Yeah.
That got us to this sudden death.
Right.
And I don't get to be a part. The only thing that would have been better if they'd have been like, hey.
But was Cecil a drummer?
Yeah.
He could have been like a flute guy, and it was like, hey, Cecil.
In my head, it's way better if he's a drummer and he's a senior. That's how I always envisioned it, my nigga. Is that he was a drummer and a senior and the only person that fit the clothes. And and forever he's like, I hate Nick Cannon. So.
Why does he keep winning? That's what.
And he marries Mariah Carey. Oh, he was so mad when he found out.
What's that Breaking Bad thing? He can't keep getting away with this? That's exactly what's happening.
Does.
Dude, Nick Cannon's Walter White.
So they meet midfield.
Yeah.
And A&T, they all have yellow bandanas on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Morris Brown goes first. And their cymbal girls are really badass. They're doing all the cool cymbal shit. Mm-hmm. And then they're killing it. And then they drink from red cups and keep playing.
This is a random interesting story. I thought it was always badass. So they have professional drum lines, right? That play, not drum lines, professional marching bands that compete against each other every year. And a lot of the how to make cymbals on that team is that they have everyone trying out for cymbals, and whoever can hold it out the longest get on. I
can see that.
Yeah, it's that's wild.
The trend's gotta be crazy.
Yeah,
because the shit that they were doing in this movie,
it's fuck it,
and it's nonstop. They go for so long.
This is my cymbal impression.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now do a impression of somebody else that would do that.
Inflatable wacky arm guy. Same vibe.
Yeah.
That's how they try out for inflatable wacky arm guy.
Whip a baton.
Whip a baton.
Yeah. That's really good. Well done, buddy.
I know. Thank you.
AT&T, they do their first song, and they like they do something really cool. They like there's all their snares like right. They look like they're about to play, and then they all stop and like back up,
Right.
And then they all back up, and then all the bass drummers come out and they form a circle. And then they're playing in a circle, right? And then they all take their bass drums off and set them down. And then they all run in a circle, like beating them in a circle.
Yeah.
And then they all stop and lay down and then beat them like this. Like really cool. And then the cymbal people pop up and they're all on each other's shoulders, stacked up like a fucking caterpillar, doing the cymbal shit. Crazy, right?
That's
Crazy.
wild shit.
And then they're like, and then they stop and then they hit the ground like everybody. And then you see the two girl drumliners. They stand up out of nowhere and then they beat the drums from up top like in a circle, like from the inside now, while the cymbals are going. So it's just crazy as fuck.
Right.
And the crowd goes nuts. Right.
This is A&T, right?
Yeah, it's A&T. So then now Morris Brown goes again. Mm-hmm. And they do this cool like scratch thing, and then they walk forward, and then they play the drums on theirs, right?
Yeah.
Like the flashback. And then it shows Devin, and his fists get tight, but he doesn't punch. But he thinks about it.
He learns.
What an idiot, though, to think about it. To be like, I might ruin this for everyone.
Especially because you did it to another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're mad?
Yeah. Take a bite of your own medicine. I don't know how the thing goes.
So Morris Brown, they back up and then they throw their sticks down at him and they like, crowd goes crazy. So A&T starts and they move forward real cool in unison, like really cool slow motion shit. Mm-hmm. And then they do like this cool bow and arrow shit with their sticks while they're playing, and they do this like cool catch and release, like they're like throwing it up and then, like doing this cool shit. And then it's really cool shit, the stuff they're actually doing. Like whoever's actually drumming. It was really cool. And then they all drop their sticks in unison. And then everybody pulls out two more sticks. They keep playing. Like fucking dope shit. And then they come forward again, and it looks like they're about to start drumming on theirs, and they all stop. And then they just drop their sticks like on their drums.
Yeah. And
then back up. The crowd goes nuts. Ah!
Yeah.
You know? And then the judges have made their decision. Your winner and champion is Atlanta A&T. Ah! Everybody's going crazy and everybody's hugging and celebrating. And then they show Devin and Sean and they look at each other and they're like, freeze frame. Drumline. And the credits roll while they show B footage of them playing in the stands for the whole credits. And that, my friends, is Drumline.
See you next week. No. I don't. What the fuck?
No.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next week.